is a confidential hotline for teens by teens for those moments in life when you feel alone, anxious, or misunderstood. When there are just more questions than answers, you can call, text, or chat with TeenLink, where a trained volunteer will be there to answer the phone. Never a robot. You're bigger than what's making you anxious. TeenLink is here to make sure you can be the best version of yourself.
It can be hard finding the help you need. King County 211 Information and Referral Specialists offer connection to health and human services all across the country, and now they're just a text away. Whether you've got a question or you need help finding a particular service, just text your zip code to 877-211-9274, and Crisis Connections will connect you with a specialist to get the answers or resources you need. Or connect with King County 211 and Crisis Connections by dialing 211 or visit crisisconnection.org.
we are backstage getting ready for the show, which starts at 6:30 sharp. So I want to let you know, A, you're in the right place, but I also want to let you know, time to open your party boxes. If you haven't opened them yet, now is the time, my friends. You know why? You know why? Because we have some special gifts in them. I'm going to open up my party box and see what special gift is in there. The thing is, we want you to send in your selfies of yourself getting prepared for the event. And in the box, here I go, I'm furiously ripping it open, and it might be MC proof because there's so much tape. But don't worry, if there's anything I can do, it's get into a box. So here we go. I am winning at opening my party box, and let's see what is inside. Are you ready? Are you ready for the grand reveal? Here it comes. Here it comes. What? Oh my goodness. A crown to go. Oh, a crown with some melted chocolate on it. Live theater people, we just roll with the punches. We just roll with the punches. All right, here we go. We've got a crown, but more importantly, we have a whoopee cushion. Play some jokes on your favorite people. And we have gigantic party glasses. Would you take a look at this? So we want you to put on your crown, put on your glasses, take your selfie, and we want you to send that selfie in right away. The party starts at 6:30. Here's how you send in your selfie. You take your picture, you open up your text box, you're going to write the word CC, as in Crisis Connections, CC laugh, that's all one word, no spaces, and you're gonna text the word CC laugh to the number 55678. So that's CC laugh, all one word, no breaks, texting it to 55678. You're gonna get a little reply back from them. They're gonna say, hey, now's the time, send in your selfie. So then you can be part of our show. You will be part of the slideshow that happens when we start our show at 6:30. So do it now, do it now, do it now. Open up your party box, get your selfie, text CC Laugh to 55678, and I'll see you at what time? You said it, 6:30. Congratulations, friends. We will see you soon.
is a confidential hotline for teens by teens. For those moments in life when you feel alone, anxious, or misunderstood. When there are just more questions than answers, you can call, text, or chat with TeenLink, where a trained volunteer will be there to answer the phone. Never a robot. You're bigger than what's making you anxious. TeenLink is here to make sure you can be the best version of yourself.
It can be hard finding the help you need. King County 211 information and referral specialists offer connection to health and human services all across the country, and now they're just a text away. Whether you've got a question or you need help finding a particular service, just text your zip code to 877-211-9274 and Crisis Connections will connect you with a specialist to get the answers or resources you need. Or connect with King County 211 and Crisis Connections by dialing 211 or visit crisisconnection.org.
is a confidential hotline for teens by teens for those moments in life when you feel alone, anxious, or misunderstood. When there are just more questions than answers, you can call, text, or chat with TeenLink, where a trained volunteer will be there to answer the phone, never a robot. You're bigger than what's making you anxious. TeenLink is here to make sure you can be the best version of yourself.
can be hard finding the help you need. King County 211 information and referral specialists offer connection to health and human services all across the country, and now they're just a text away. Whether you've got a question or you need help finding a particular service, just text your zip code to 877-211-9274, and Crisis Connections will connect you with a specialist to get the answers or resources you need. Or connect with King County 211 and Crisis Connections by dialing 211 or visit crisisconnection.org.
is a confidential hotline for teens by teens for those moments in life when you feel alone, anxious, or misunderstood. When there are just more questions than answers, you can call, text, or chat with TeenLink, where a trained volunteer will be there to answer the phone, never a robot. You're bigger than what's making you anxious. TeenLink is here to make sure you can be the best version of yourself.
can be hard finding the help you need. King County 211 information and referral specialists offer connection to health and human services all across the country, and now they're just a text away. Whether you've got a question or you need help finding a particular service, just text your zip code to 877-211-9274, and Crisis Connections will connect you with a specialist to get the answers or resources you need. Or connect with King County 211 and Crisis Connections by dialing 211 or visit crisisconnection.org.
Welcome. Hello, I'm Elisa Jaffe, and welcome to our first ever virtual Connect, Learn, Laugh Live event for Crisis Connections. For 56 years, the Crisis Connections has connected individuals to critical resources, has helped them to prevent a crisis, is there in the moment of crisis, and follows up with resources and support after crisis. Last year, Crisis Connections responded to more than 280,000 calls from your neighbors and friends. It's because of the commitment of their 300 community volunteers, people just like you, and their 150 staff members, that somebody is always there to pick up the phone and answer an email or respond to a text. This year, more now than ever, our community is in crisis, and we need a strong crisis response organization like Crisis Connections, so we can be thankful that we have a place to turn to when we find ourselves in distress. But Crisis Connections can't do it alone, which is why you are here with us tonight. This year, we are continuing the theme, laughter. If you didn't attend last year's event, you might be thinking, how does laughter play a role in crisis services? Well, laughter has a way of instantly connecting people and is one of the most basic and fundamental ways in which we communicate as human beings. One of the many benefits of laughter and humor is the power to reduce anxiety, stress, and depression. And tonight we're going to celebrate how the power of laughter and humor can promote healing in our community. And boy, do we need that. But before we begin to laugh, we want to start by acknowledging people who helped make this event possible. We'd like to extend our thanks to the businesses and people who have helped underwrite the cost of this event. Because of their generosity, every dollar you give tonight will go directly to Crisis Connections. A special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Kaiser Permanente, and to our presenting media sponsors, KOMO Radio and Star 101.5. To our gold giggle getter, Amazon. To our silver smile supporter, Molina Healthcare. Video sponsor, Hubbard Seattle. We also want to say a special thank you to Crisis Connection staff who have helped make this event possible. I have been the MC for Crisis Connections fundraisers since 2002. That's 18 years. And one of the things that I'm always struck by is the similarity of what all the guests tell me after the event. I knew about the crisis line, but I didn't know that they did all these other services. I was surprised to know that Crisis Connections helped people with such a variety of needs. And just this last week, I had some things in my own family. I talked to my sister. She was feeling hopeless. I actually had to call into a group, a counselor, because I was feeling so down. And so, like, what's going on in this world? Where do I fit in? What's my future like? You know, I've had stuff in my family with losing my father to suicide, with having a son who's struggled with issues. And now how many of you are going through this? How many people in your family are going through this? So we are here in this community to help you, and we are here to help so many others. But tonight, let's just have a little bit of fun. Let's get on with this evening's festivities. We've got a full show this evening, so hold on to your hats. Let's have a lot of fun. And we are featuring live stand-up comedy by Joseph Nguyen, Eve Meyer, and our headliner, Emmett Montgomery. To start us off, I'd like to introduce our amazing auctioneer, Sasha Summer Cousineau.
Well, thank you, Elisa. Don't you love all the sparkles she has? We're the Sparkle Sisters this evening. Oh, my goodness. It is such a joy to be here on stage tonight with Elisa and with the other folks who are going to share the stage with me, socially distanced, of course. And our guests, you are even further away. You are staying home and staying safe, and we thank you. We thank you for your diligence on that part. But you know what? I can feel you. I can feel your energy coming through this YouTube screen. I know you are here. And you know how else you're going to let me know you're here? Aside from your overwhelmingly positive vibes that I can feel right now, I feel you. I do. You're going to let me know by playing in the chat. Yes, indeed. You're on YouTube. There's a chat. Let's make use of it. Why not? Here is what you want to do right now. We're going to get our little chatting fingers, our little emoji fingers warmed up and working in the chat. You know why? Because later we're going to play some games. And you're going to have to play the games in the chat. And the games do come with prizes. Yes, they do. So you want to get practiced up. Ready? 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 Ready to get all practiced up with your chatting and emoji fingers? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pop in the chat right now. What is it that you are eating or drinking? Is there an emoji that expresses that? Do you have to type it in words because you're eating or drinking something so exotic that there simply isn't an emoji for it? Put it in the chat right now. I want to see what you have to say. And while I'm waiting to see some of the things coming up in the chat, I want to let you know that this is a 2-device event. Yes, indeed, it is a 2-device event. You want to be watching the show on the larger of your 2 devices. But then you're going to be bidding in our live auction and giving your generous donations via the smaller of your 2 devices, so probably your cell phone. And I see some things coming in the chat right now. If you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the chat. Okay, it looks like somebody has something in an ice bucket. Steve, is that vodka? Is it vodka, Steve? You know what they say, vodka is just awesome water. And oh, Taylor, you're eating carrots. So healthy, so full of folic acid. Oh, Sylvia, bai tong yummy Thai, that sounds yummy. And Sam is having some wine, delicious. Ooh, Kathy, I'm jealous. Pot roast, lots of peppers, delicious. We have some crab cakes. Kay, I had the crab cakes too. 2 of a kind over here. Sean, chicken. I hope the chicken doesn't look like that while you're eating it, though. We have some martinis, we have some pumpkins, we have some tea, we have some daiquiris and some more wine. We have a tidal wave. You've got a big appetite to eat a tidal wave, Nicole. Anyway, like I said, we have some games. You're going to make use of the chat, and we have prizes that will be rolling out throughout the night. So you need to stay tuned, and you could win some Crisis Connection swag like this mug that I'm rocking right now. Oh yeah, me, just casually holding this mug. You could win it. You might also win another prize, which is super fantastic. Are you ready for it? Any training, and I do mean any training you'd like to take from Crisis Connections. It's our big grand prize for the game we'll play towards the tail end of this here show. So pay attention and keep your ears open for trivia clues throughout the evening. Here's a hint. Don't tell them I told you. Pay attention to the comedy. I got you. Okay. All right, time for our first game. Are you ready? I know you are because we just warmed up your texting or your chatting fingers. Here's how you're going to play. I'll ask you a question. You're going to answer in the chat. The 5th person to get the answer right in the chat is going to win this Crisis Connections mug. So here's the question. Are you ready for it? What is the name of just one, of the 5 permanent crisis lines at Crisis Connections? So if you know any names of any of the crisis lines, time to put them in the chat right now. The 5th person who gets it right gets this here mug, and I know you're going to be so excited. You're going to be like, oh, I love Crisis Connections so hard. Okay, so the 5th person to put one of the names in the chat is going to win, and in the meantime, I'm going to just pretend like I'm you, winning human, who's drinking coffee from my Crisis Connections mug. Oh, warm coffee makes me feel good. Or bourbon. I mean, you don't know what's in my mug.
Grossman was drinking
Okay,
bourbon.
so Kevin says 211. Sydney says 211. Drea says line. Kathleen says 211. And Kay says Teen Link. Kay, you are number 5. Kay Knox, you are number 5. You get the mug. What? All right. Well, now that we've got you all warmed up and you're playing in the chat and you're thinking all about Crisis Connections, I think it's time to turn the fun back over to my fabulous co-host, the one, the only, Elisa.
Thank you, Sasha. Now we would like to introduce Angela Cronin, who is on the Board of Trustees and the chair of the Philanthropy Committee. She would like to share what has been happening at Crisis Connections this year.
Hello, I'm Angela Cronin, and my pronouns are she and her. As a board member, I continue to be inspired by the work of Crisis Connections, formerly known as Crisis Clinic. Having lived through the painful loss of loved ones to suicide, I have made a personal commitment to do what I can to make sure resources that offer crisis intervention, like Crisis Connections, continues to be available for those in need. Crisis Connections was born of the need to respond in a time of crisis in King County. Because of the wonderful work of the many staff and volunteers, we have the opportunity to make this vision possible. Your support allows us to prevent crisis whenever possible and to spread our services to other regions of the state. It is your generosity that has given Crisis Connections the ability to ensure that more people know about where they can go for help, and that help is only moments away when they call. 2020 has been an unprecedented time in our community. We've been affected by so much, as has the communities we serve. We have worked closely with partners to ensure that all those in need can find the right connection. I'd like to share with you how Crisis Connections has responded to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Inclusive of the 73% increase in call volume to our 211 line and the up to 25% increase to other crisis lines, Crisis Connections has handled 200% more calls in 2020 compared to previous years. We also partnered with the United Way of King County to support rental assistance needs, ensuring that over 3,000 people had access to this important safety net resource. We supported the statewide COVID-19 call line with our 211 team members taking nearly 10,000 additional calls to assist the Department of Health COVID information line. In April, we collaborated with the Healthcare Authority to propose a statewide response to the high volume of callers who were sharing concerns related to the emotional impacts of COVID-19, including increased anxiety, worry, depression, and feelings of hopelessness and isolation. Our team, along with partners from 9 agencies and 4 tribal nations, were awarded the crisis counseling program called Washington Listens. This line went live in early June and is taking calls from all Washington residents in need of additional emotional support during this pandemic. And lastly, our CC Cares program, which supports loved ones after a suicide death by providing care packages, has seen a 20% increase of packages sent all over the state of Washington. On top of the overwhelming increase in call volume, we also moved locations. Shortly after the stay-at-home order was given by Governor Inslee in March, Crisis Connections moved our offices to 2 locations, Renton and downtown Seattle. This move is part of our commitment to increase diversity and inclusion and allows us space to grow our call centers, thus improving our ability to serve more communities. The 2 sites will enable us to recruit, hire, and retain staff and volunteers from within the diverse communities we serve. We continue to work with our community and with you, our supporters, to keep the lines open and available during these tough times. We know that connection is the cure to isolation, and your support allows us to continue to connect. Thank you for your ongoing patronage.
I think it's very important for us to get really honestly grounded in the work that Crisis Connections does, so we are clear on what we're here to support. We're not just supporting 1 line, we're supporting 5 lines, we're supporting programs beyond that. And I am just so grateful, Angela, for your explanation of all this, as well as talking about the current context. But I'm also so grateful that Crisis Connections is literally there to answer the call, because so many people need that help right now. So thank you. But we're all gathered to support that help, and while we're here to support that help, we're also going to have some fun, and I would love to take a look at you, our fantastic community who has gathered this evening in support of Crisis Connections. Some of you sent in your selfies. I can't wait to see them. Let's roll those pictures. Let's see the selfies. Oh, a Groucho dog. Groucho dog. Oh, yes, double crown Double crown. Yes, we got a crown and a Groucho Marx. I'm digging it. I'm feeling it. Oh, jealous. You got a cookie. I'm jelly. Oh, some of our crew backstage tonight. What? You are looking fantastic with your funny bunny ears. I don't know who that crazy lady is. Who is she? Oh, so festive. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. What's happening there? It's an action shot. You're opening the box. Oh, crown love. Oh, party people with their party animal. Yes. Oh, I'm loving all of this. More party animals. Don't we love a party animal? A party kitty. Yes. Oh, I see you listening to Star 101.5 back there. You are doing some triple action glasses fun. That's amazing. I'm really feeling your look as well. Oh, kitty, party kitty. Oh, party human, who's a cousin it. More party kitties. People sure do love pictures of their animals. I took a million. Oh, whoopee cushion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Kitty set off the whoopee cushion and Kitty's not happy about it. Aw, look, more couple crowns. Yay, Crisis Connections. Thank you for sending in your selfies. It is so beautiful to share this time with you and to be able to see you, to see our wonderful community. Thank you for that. That made me just happy. Okay. I need to remind you that we have a live auction going on tonight. Yes, we do. We're going to pop that link in the chat for you just a million times. Well, maybe not a million times, but plentifully. So you always have that link right there at your fingertips, and you can head on over and bid. We have count them, 4 items that are already available for bidding in our online auction. So go to the software, start placing your bids. Friends, we have a cabin fever getaway. We have a wine package. We have a Crisis Connections Ultimate Connections package. You're like, what is that, Sasha? Well, I'll tell you how you find out. You're going to click that link we're popping in the chat for you, and you're going to go over and look at the live auction. And we also have a Pike Place Fish Seafood package. I want you to know all proceeds from the auction are going to our Teen Link program. So don't miss out on your opportunity to support this amazing program. Get on over there in the live auction and bid, bid, bid. In addition to our sweet little live auction, we are also asking you, friend, to make your most meaningful gift tonight in support of Crisis Connections while we're right here in this program. You will do that by clicking the link. It's so easy. We're just going to give you that link constantly, and it's always right there by your fingertips. And when you feel so moved, you can make your gift at any time. So think about it and make that move when you're feeling like your heart is full. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our fundraising thermometer, shall we? You're like, what's a fundraising thermometer? Glad you asked. I was just about to show you. There it is. There is our fundraising thermometer. Yes, I'm rubbing it, I'm stroking it because I love fundraising and I want the thermometer to feel good about itself, all right? We're giving the thermometer a little massage, right? Because it's gonna take all your fabulous donations and we're gonna show our progress. Right now, it looks like we are just short of a quarter of the way to our goal. We've raised just shy of $2,500, but our goal during this program, and just for your gifts, just your donations, not your bids in the auction, we're hoping to reach $10,000. Not hoping. Why would I say hoping? We're going to reach $10,000. You know how I know that? I see you. I see you. I see that you're a mighty philanthropist. I see that you've got your giving fingers warmed up. You're clicking that link and you're just going to it. So we will reach $10,000 tonight. Friends, I love talking to you, but you know what else I love? My co-host, Elisa. Elisa, come on over here.
I'm not sure she knows what it looked like when she was rubbing that fundraising thermometer. But anyway, that's why it was growing, dear. Next up, our first comic for the night, and it's not me. Good job, young lady. Joseph Nguyen is a smart slacker, beloved by audiences for his easygoing delivery and good writing. Joseph has performed with some of the best in the business, including Jimmy O. Yang, Ali Wong, Hassan Minaj, David Alan Grier, Wendy Liebman, and Kevin Nealon. He has also participated in 2 of San Francisco Suicide Prevention's Laugh for Life events and toured across the US and Canada with You're Funny, But You Don't Look Jewish. I actually had an HR director say that to me one time. Not there anymore. Now, coming in live from San Francisco, Joseph Nguyen.
Hey, thanks, Elisa, and thank everybody for having me. I hope you can all hear me, including those of you in the back and up in the balcony. I hope you all can hear me okay. It's kind of hard adjusting to doing comedy online, but it's what we have to do. You know, like there's times like tonight where I can't hear the feedback from the audience, like I can't hear you. So I'm just going to assume that it's exactly like my live shows where after every joke, I get a 2-minute standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but it's it's as Elisa said, I am coming to you from the Bay Area, where things are on fire again. Yeah, it's had the worst wildfire season this year, and the state has just been on fire. One of the wildfires we had in Southern California was started by a gender reveal party. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard about it. If you didn't, here's what one brilliant couple decided to do. They wanted to have a big event for their gender reveal, and they did this by taking a pyrotechnic device to a field of tall, dry grass in the middle of wildfire season. And so, of course, they set off a fire. And the identity of that couple hasn't been publicly revealed yet, but I think it should. And not because they're going to be, shamed and vandalized and all that, but because that kid, when they get old enough to use a computer, which these days is like maybe 5-6 months old, right? They're going to get old enough to use a computer, and they're going to Google their parents' names, and they're going to find out what they did, and that is going to be gold for that child, right? Imagine they try to discipline that kid. They're like, oh, you did something very, very bad. Oh, yeah? Did I start a fire that displaced people? Did I make the air quality worse? Did I do any of that? By the way, my allowance was 2 days late this week, so get on it. That kid is going to be set. So I really want that. But yeah, it's crazy. Like California is on fire. A few weeks ago, the whole West Coast was on fire, and it's awful for everybody who lives here, but it's probably really great for Republicans because, they have been working for years to speed up climate change. And now the whole liberal base is on fire, which is just, they're seeing those results. I don't know if there's any Republicans who are tuning in tonight because I do know that suicide prevention is a cause that transcends political parties, right? I know that. But I also know that there is one political party with a much higher concentration of decent and compassionate people. So, I'm taking that into consideration as well. Obviously, I'm a liberal, but I don't like all the things I hear from my Democrat friends. Like every single presidential election, Democrats always say, oh, if the Republican wins, I'm going to Canada, which is always an empty threat. And now it's an illegal threat because we're not allowed there because of COVID, because we suck at containing it. Pandemic. Man, remember the start of the pandemic? Do you remember, like, even before we all had to shelter in place, there was like just all the news stories about the virus that would have an image of the virus itself. And you know the one I'm talking about, right? It looks like some 13-year-old kid with mad computer skills decided to draw a moldy orange. And they just put that in all the news stories. And you're supposed to look at that picture and go, oh, damn, this thing is serious. I miss those days, I miss them. I still remember the start of quarantine and shelter in place. Everybody thought the same thing. We're all like, oh, well, it's going to be like a month or two, but I'm going to catch up on Netflix and I'm going to learn some crafts, and I don't know how long ago that was. I think it was roughly like 3 million years. I have no idea. Time is just gone. I don't know what it is. But that was then. And now it's, I was like, oh, I can't wait for cafes and my favorite restaurants to reopen. That was back then. And now like half those businesses are gone. But not all businesses have been doing bad. Some have even been doing a lot better during the pandemic. Like the other day I was driving on the highway and I saw a plane with a banner behind it. And I was like, oh, I bet this is like a political banner or like an insurance company or something big like that. It was for Stella Rosa wines. And if you've never heard of Stella Rosa wines, it's because you probably shouldn't have. But people have just been drinking so much during the pandemic that Stella Rosa wines went from being like obscure liquor store wine to like plain banner money wine, So some people have been doing much better due to the pandemic. And it just makes you think about, who stands to gain from all this? Maybe there's some collusion going on between alcohol producers and Netflix and Big Puzzle. These people, they all stand to gain. Don't worry, I'm not actually a conspiracy theorist. I don't think that everybody has a hidden agenda, but I do believe that I have a hidden agenda for my life. I wish I could find it, because then maybe everything would make more sense. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm excited about things reopening whenever that happens. I think the thing I'm probably most excited about reopening is wherever the hell my roommate works. I can't wait for that because I'm so sick of that guy. He's a great guy, but it doesn't matter if you're stuck with someone for this many months. Like, you are going to get sick of that person. So can't wait for that. But at the same time, I'm not ready for all aspects of normal life to resume. Like, there's some things about normal life that I just don't miss at all. Like, I find a lot of aspects of life just very confusing. Just like everyday things will confuse me. Like, sometimes just using a toilet will be a confusing experience for me, right? Because a lot of modern toilets, to flush them, you got two buttons, right? There's a small button and then there's a big button. No instructions. It's like, you figure it out, right? And so the first time I saw that, I thought, okay, well, I bet maybe this big button is for number 2, because I figure it's like, hey, you want more water, so it's like bigger button. But then I thought, well, you do number 1 way more often. So what if it's like, well, it's more often bigger button, and then I thought, man, what if this doesn't even affect the flush and they just want you to think about what you've been doing in there? I have no idea. I just hit them both and pray, so that's how I get through that. But that is a very true story. I must say I'm really not proud of that last bit. Or anything I've said here tonight. Really, just not a proud person in general, and it's not because I'm ashamed of my life or anything, but it's just more conceptual. Like, I always thought that you were supposed to be proud of the things you accomplish in life. But then the older I get, the more I see people are usually proud of things you have no control over, things you're just born with, like your race or your hometown. And I think it's weird to be proud of those things. Like, I was talking to one of my friends back in my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, and he was like, man, I'm proud to be from Atlanta. Best city in the country. And I was like, yeah, dude, Atlanta's pretty great, but it is not an accomplishment to be from there. Like, I don't know what you're proud of. Like, the only reason we're from Atlanta is that our parents had sex and then they were there. That's it. Like, what are you proud of? Another one of my friends, just out of the blue, was like, hey, you know what? I'm proud to be a Korean man. And I was like, what? Dude, I wouldn't be proud of that. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because you were just born that way. Who cares? It would be a different story if you were born a turtle and then through hard work and determination, you turned yourself into a Korean man. That's the most impressive thing I've ever heard, and I would definitely be proud of that. So I don't know if that's what he meant, but that's going to do it for me. That's my time. Thanks so much for having me, and thanks so much for everything you're doing for suicide prevention.
Thank you so much, Joseph. You are hysterical. I think Sasha just had to go change her underwear. That was great. Now I would like to introduce Allie Franklin, Crisis Connections' previous CEO and current friend of Crisis Connections, who will be talking to us about this year's Community Connector recipient.
Hi, this is Allie Franklin. I'm so pleased to be with you this evening to present the Community Connector Award. The Connector Award has become a bit of a tradition at Crisis Connections. It's intended to recognize a person or an organization who has gone above and beyond to help build linkages and reduce barriers to resources and supports for people in our community who need them the most. This year has been an extraordinary year. When you think about a worldwide pandemic, you think about the wildfires that are going on throughout the Western United States, and you think about the unrest in our communities. This year, more than ever, people have had a need to be able to connect to those basic resources and to come together. Agencies have worked hard to come together to figure out how do we make sure that we remove the barriers to those important, essential resources like food, housing, connections to resources that need to come to people's homes even when they're unable to leave home during the pandemic. This is why I nominated Within Reach. Within Reach has partnered with Crisis Connections, the state of Washington, and many other stakeholders to break down barriers, to eliminate complexity, and to help people get connected to those basic resources that make such a difference in their lives. Within Reach stepped up and out of their own comfort zone to take a lead role in assuring that there were case management services available to those who were in the areas of our state that were hardest hit by the pandemic, those who were stuck in their homes and didn't have access to resources such as Grubhub or other services that deliver services to someone's home. If a family is stuck in their home and needs to quarantine for a period of time for safety reasons, who will be the one who can bring those basic needs and basic resources to their home? Within Reach stepped into that space and collaborated together to make sure that those areas that were hardest hit by COVID-19 had access to those resources. They worked together with agencies including Crisis Connections, Pierce County 211, Washington Serves, 4 Tribes, Wellspring, and many other entities to really envision and work together to say, how do we make it easier for people to get the things that they need, and how do we make it more person-centered? And really to think about what would a community comprehensive resource look like to be able to help people. Throughout my time at Crisis Connections, I found Within Reach to be an incredible collaborator, a wonderful thought leader, and a partner in looking together to say, how do we think about resources and resource support in a bigger, more connected way, so that not only in times of crisis, but in times when perhaps we can prevent a crisis, we're able to find supports for people so that they can get the things that they need and be empowered to find those supports. This is why it is my great pleasure to present the Connector Award to Within Reach. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for this incredible honor, Allie, and everyone at Crisis Connections. This award and your kind words are such a boost, especially now, as we work hard to stay energized, connected, and focused on our vision of healthy, vibrant, and equitable communities throughout Washington. I'm Kay Knox, the CEO of Within Reach, and this award really highlights the value at the center of our work at Within Reach, and that is collaboration. For 30 plus years, Within Reach has been helping families navigate our complex health and social service systems and find the resources they need to be healthy and safe. And from the start, I wasn't here quite then, but I've been here about 20 years. We knew that working with other state and local partners would be the only way we would achieve our mission. So building strong, innovative, collaborative, inclusive partnerships is at the heart of our work. And there is really no better partner than Crisis Connections, which has been an essential part of our community safety net for so many years. And as you described, Allie, our work together recently, building a connected system to be able to provide both emergent and long-term resources and supports is changing the landscape for families. Through our collaboration, I believe we are modeling how organizations with aligned missions can work together to help families, whether responding in crisis or helping prevent crisis. So I believe we are perfect partners to build a system of support that runs both wide and very deep and is focused on removing the barriers and the challenges that families face when looking for help. So we are pleased that you chose to highlight our working partnership and all that we hope to achieve together. I thank you so much. This award really means the world to all of us at Within Reach. I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Again, congratulations. And again, thank you. Okay, time for another little game. You know how this goes. I am going to ask you a question. You're going to put your answer in the chat. The fifth person who No, wait, this one's not for a prize, right? I'm turning this way because I'm asking off stage. Because
Just for
I'm
fun?
a professional. It's just for fun.
Let's just have fun.
It's just for fun, but I still want you to play. Okay, who was paying attention to Joseph's set? I know I was. Well, she told you. She already told you the unfortunate but great comedy accident that I had in my life. So here is the deal. I want you to put in the chat the type of party that Joseph spoke about that caused fires in California. What was the type of party? Let's see who is paying close attention. Again, this one's not for a prize. It's just for fun.
That's okay.
We want to see if they were paying attention. I'm sure they were
Yeah,
because
come on.
I was cracking up the whole time. Oh my goodness. I also, while I'm waiting for your answers to what kind of party did he refer to that started fires in California, I want to let you know that we are a third of the way to our fundraising goal. Looks like we have just now raised about $3,500 of our $10,000 goal. So keep those gifts a-coming. We are going to put the links. Yes, gender reveal. Megan, you're on it. Kate, you knew it. Ellen, you knew it. Gina, you knew it. Kathleen, everybody knew it. Nicole Johnson, sorry, not exactly. I mean, semi, but not a baby shower. It was a gender reveal party. Kay Knox. Oh, congratulations, Kay. Yes, Sylvia, you got it. See, Steve and Kim, you all were paying so much attention. This is good. This is good practice.
This is great.
Because we're going to play more games with prizes later. See, I started to tease you with a prize so you'd get all excited about it, and then I took it away. That just makes you more excited for the prize again
So
later.
was that really fun? I don't know.
It's a little bit of...
I'm not sure that was.
I mean...
Sort of.
You don't think it's fun when people play with your emotions? Weird.
Yeah, that's
weird.
really so much fun.
Weird.
Thanks.
Well,
really like that.
Lisa,
yeah.
your turn. You say a
Okay,
thing.
let's have more fun. It is time for another comedy set. Eve Meyer was actually born in Brooklyn some time ago. Notice we won't say how long ago. She's been entertaining her family and the public ever since, most recently after working in suicide prevention for 30 years. That's no joke. And she has appeared at El Rio, the Milk Bar, Bar Fluxus, and Neck of the Woods. She also works as a voice actor and a consultant on crisis intervention. Coming in live from the beautiful city by the bay, Eve Meyer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Is everyone comfy? Reach around in your seat, get yourself real comfy. When I retired, somebody said to me, are you going to tell everybody what really, really happened? And tonight I will. Starting with the first day that I went into the office, I opened the door and I walked in, and the office manager said to me, thank God you're here. We have a big problem. And that's what she said to me the second day and every single day after that for the next 30 years. Now, why would she do that to me? Well, it had to do with the financial structure of the agency. Every crisis nonprofit agency is different from an ordinary business because an ordinary business has a product and the product has costs, but you get revenue and the revenue offsets the costs and then everybody goes home, right? But not in a crisis agency. In a crisis agency, you have a product. It's calls. It saves people's lives. It has to be really good. And it has costs. But then the revenue, oh, wait a minute. Where did the revenue go? Hello? Oh, we have to go to somebody else to get the revenue. Would you pay for these crisis calls for these people? You're not going to? What if we write a 20-page proposal and tell you what we're going to do with the money? Now you're going to? Okay. Yay! Payroll, rent, everything's okay. Now everybody goes home for dinner. Now it's going to be okay. Dinner's a little bit burnt, but they go home. It's a completely different thing. This is two different businesses in one organization with the same staff, all at the same time. But if you're the executive director, you can't figure out where to spend your time. And what happened to me was right away I was going, well, I should spend my time on the calls, know the money, know the calls, know the money. And I got like I Love Lucy, where she goes to the candy factory and the candy is going by quicker and quicker all the time. And then I realized there is another piece that makes it all kind of work. And that's the volunteers. Crisis Connections and Suicide Prevention all use community volunteers to answer the calls. And this does something really magic. A community volunteer doesn't burn out like an ordinary 5 days a week, 8 hours a day person would. Also, they've had lived experience that makes them much better at this than an ordinary person would be. And finally, they're a volunteer. So they can convince the donor what a cost-effective service this is and make the connection happen really quickly. Volunteers, oh my God, that made me so happy that we had them and so guilty about the fact that we fed them peanut butter and stale bread and bad coffee. And because culturally I'm inclined to feel guilty. And so I started going to the top of the stairs. We're located above a tattoo parlor, which I'll tell you all about some other time. And I would greet all the volunteers as they came up the stairs. I would grasp their hand when they came to the top of the stairs, and I would say, "Thank you so much for coming to do your shift." And they would get confused because they would look at me and they would say, "Look, just don't get upset about it, okay? It's all right." And they would go off and do their shift. 4 hours later, I would be back at the same place and I would be reaching out to grasp the next person, and something weird would happen. I would look out and then I would see the people leaving their shift, and the body language on the people leaving would have changed completely. They would say, "Bye, see you next week." And they looked like they'd been to the gym, like they'd been to a spa or something. They were like, "Wow." And I thought to myself, something strange has happened here. There's got to be like a brain chemical or something that is rewarding them for helping people. And I asked them, "Do you feel like a brain chemical is rewarding you for helping people?" And they said, "Bingo, that's exactly how it feels." And so we named it linoleum. Who uses that word anymore? And so we started talking about linoleum, and we realized that we were being selfish, that we should also share this feeling of linoleum with the people who were giving us the money, not just keep it all to ourselves. So I made it a personal mission of mine to make sure that every time somebody gave us money, they would lean back and close their eyes and feel the linoleum coursing through their veins. And tonight, I want everybody to do that, however much liquor it takes. But there's one more thing that happens, and I need to tell you a story for this. When I was a child, I had a grandmother who looked just like a rhinoceros. She was in charge of my childcare because both of my parents worked, and her approach to taking care of a young child was naps. She wanted me to be asleep. And how she did this was she would read to me. Now, Some people would read from Goodnight Moon. Some people would read from Little Red Riding Hood. Not my grandmother. She read to me from the Talmud. It worked like a charm. And there was one part of the Talmud that always confused me, and I didn't understand it. It said, if a person saves the life of another person, it is as if they have saved the whole world. And I would ask her about this. I would say, grandmother, what does it mean? If a person saves the life of another person, it is as if they have saved the whole world. And she would look at me with her big, sad, rhinoceros eyes. And she would say, how should I know? It means what it says it means. I didn't write it. And so I had to go through my whole life until I came to suicide prevention to learn what it means. And what it means is that when you save the life of another person, it feels as though you've saved the whole world. And tonight, you should feel like you've saved the whole world, because you have. And everybody loves you for it. And you should enjoy that for the whole evening. Also, if you want to help me honor the memory of my mother, the next time you go to an open restaurant, please find a dinner roll, put it in your handbag. Thank you. Good night.
Mwah! Right back to you, Eve. Thank you, Eve. I have to say that thanks to you and all these beautiful people giving donations in support of Crisis Connections, I am also most certainly feeling the linoleum tonight. All right, now, time for the auction portion of the event. All of the auction proceeds go towards Teen Link program. Teen Link is a youth peer support contact line that provides teens a safe, confidential place to call for help and educate them around how to help themselves or someone they know who may be considering suicide. Now remember, to bid, you need to go into the software. We're gonna put that link in the chat for you right now, and that's where you can view all the details about the items, and that's where you can place your bids. So, here we go. We have 4 items. I hope you are bidding, because we're gonna close these items soon. That means they will be sold, no longer available for your bids. The bidding time is now. So let's take a look at our items. Here we go. Live auction item number 1. The first auction item is the Ultimate Connections package. What are we craving right now while we're all socially distant and separate from each other? But connection. Oh my goodness. This item is going to help you get there. Meaningful experiences with the people in your germ pod. We have board games. We have a $75 gift certificate to Tuta Bella. We've got wine. We've got Jones Soda. We've got candy. We've got a Crisis Connections training of your choice. This is a big deal, friends. We have a listening shift on one of the 5 crisis lines. Plus, we have a Crisis Connections swag pack and a handcrafted gift from the teens on the Teen Link line. I think that is the coolest part of it all. That is item number 1, the Ultimate Connection pack. You want to get your bids in now because we're going to be closing that item very, very soon. Don't say I didn't warn you. Right now, Sydney James, Sydney, you are the champion of live auction item number 1. You currently have the top bid of $150. I encourage you, defend that bid practically with your life. But I also encourage someone else to go and outbid Sydney. Why? Because we're here to raise money for Crisis Connections, and this is one of the ways we're doing it. So let's talk about auction item number 2, shall we? I think we shall. This is our Cabin Fever getaway. Friends, word has it from a very good source who happens to be a very good friend of mine, who happens to be more than 6 feet away from me wearing a mask. My friend Alex says that this place is utterly gorgeous. Super, super, super swank. You want to be there. You are going to relax in the beauty of the Methow Valley. It's a 2-night stay at a luxury king or studio cabin at Freestone Inn in Mazama, Washington. And also, you're going to get 2 bottles of wine. So, beautiful Mazama, beautiful cabin, delicious wine to drink. It's a winner. We right now have Chessie. Chessie, you are the top bidder on this item right now. The bid is at $500. Let's see if we can ratchet that up a bit. A bit is what I said. Don't get your minds out of the gutter, okay? I know what you're trying to do. I didn't say that. I said bit, okay? All right. Anyways, we're going to ratchet this bid up a bit because we want to raise money for Crisis Connections. Okay. Auction item number 3. This is our Seattle Seafood Classic Pike Place Fish Market Package. Of course, we're all cooking from home right now. But you know, the humans who throw the fish at Pike Place Market, you might not have seen them for a while, because who's been anywhere outside of their neighborhood? But they're still there, and they want you to have this amazing cooking from home experience. So they put together this beautiful package for you. It's $250 to the Pike Place Fish Market, a smoked salmon gift box, grilling planks, ooh, super sexy for those of you who like to grill, a signed cookbook, a baseball cap, apron, sauces, seasonings, all sorts of things. There's all sorts of cook from home fun, plus wine. Why not? We're putting wine in all the packages. All right, right now, Ellen Blau, you are the top bidder of this package, and that's fantastic. We have the price on this package bid up to $225, but once more, I'm gonna encourage somebody to come and nip at Ellen's heels a little bit. You think you could take over. You could be in first place. I could be reading your name right now because you're the mighty philanthropic champion who's bidding on behalf of Crisis Connections. So get on over there, bid on item number 3. Again, we are closing it real soon. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, next item number 4 is wine. We seem to love wine around here. Who doesn't love wine? I mean, it's basically health food. It's made from grapes. So yes, we are all enjoying our wine from home right now. Since we're staying home and staying safe, you can refill your wine cellar with 16 bottles of Washington wine. Plus, we have a tasting for 8 at Goose Ridge Tasting Room at one of their locations, either in Woodinville, Leavenworth, Richland, or Walla Walla. So no matter where you are in the state or where you're going to be in the state, you can probably go taste some wine. Why not? Right now, we have Mendy. Mendy, you are the top bidder right now. We have the bidding up to $350. But can somebody outbid her? Are you that champion? Are you that mighty philanthropic bidder who's going to go in there and sweep Wendy out of first place and put your name in first place? If you are, you got to do it right now, because we are about to close all 4 of these items. All 4 items are closing at once, and I'm going to give you the countdown, so I hope you're bidding away. Oh my gosh, Miriam, you just got in first place on the Pike Place Fish Market. We still have Mendy on wine and Chessie on the Cabin Fever giveaway and Sydney. But come on, now's your time. I have warned you plentifully. We are closing all 4 of these auction items in a 5, a 4, a 3. I'm going slow to give you another chance. 2. Elisa's husband wants to bid on the cabin. It's item number 4, Cabin Fever Getaway. He's got to do it now because we're closing it. He doesn't have a bidder number. He has to click the link in the chat. See, we're problem solving for all of you. Sylvia, you just got in first place while I was helping Elisa's husband bid. Wait a minute, this isn't insider stuff. I was helping all of you bid. This is not like a certain administration who shall not be named who only shoulder rubs their friends. I was helping all of you have more time. And ultimately, I was helping Crisis Connections raise more money because what? Kate just got in first place on the Cabin Fever Getaway. So right now, Kate, you're in first place on Cabin Fever. Oh, Chessie's back in the Cabin Fever. We've got a bidding war. Oh my God. Sylvia, you're still holding it down on wine. Miriam, you're still holding it down on the Pike Place Fish Market package. Sydney, you're still holding it down on the Ultimate Connections package. But are you ready? I started to count it down before, but then I decided to help you have more time, right? Here we go. We're closing it in a 5 and a 4 and a 3. Why did I turn into, oh, Michelle just got first place on the Ultimate Connection package. And we're closing it in 2 and 1.5. And now 1.25. 1. And now it's closed. The live auction is closed. Everybody step away from your virtual bid sheets. Put your virtual pens down. We are not bidding in the live auction anymore. It is closed. Congratulations, Michelle, Chessie, Sylvia, Miriam. Congratulations on winning these live auction items. And thank you to all of you who bid in the live auction, because whether you won or not, you just helped raise money for Crisis Connection. So can we all just in the chat give ourselves a round of applause? All of you who bid deserve a round of applause. And if you didn't win anything, don't worry about it. I have some fun for you. Don't you worry. We have another game. Now, if you were listening to Eve's comedy set, you will remember, you're going to answer in the chat. This one is not for a prize, just for funsies, because we like to have funsies, don't we? I like to have funsies. So, Eve said that she realized there was a missing ingredient, but the thing that made it all work at her nonprofit organization was what? Or rather, the group of people who made it all work at her nonprofit organization was who? Who made it all work? You're going to put your answer in the chat, and this is just bragging rights. This is just so you can say that crazy lady Sasha who talks real exuberantly, I won her game. And then nobody will know who Sasha is, and that's not very braggy, but you know, whatever. Just pretend I'm famous. I pretend I'm famous all the time. Okay, let's see. You're popping your answers in the chat. What group of humans did Eve say made it all work at her nonprofit? Aw, Michelle, you win. You were the first person to put volunteers in there. Michelle K, thank you for playing the game. Oh, and Chris got in on the action. Chris said the volunteers, Nicole said the volunteers, Angelina and Erica, you're all here with me. Oh, thank you for being here with me, and thank you for being here on behalf of Crisis Connections. You all are so fabulous. Angela got in on the action, and Jackie, Chessie. Chessie's feeling real, super awesome right now. She's like, I was bidding in the live auction, boom, boom, boom. Okay, anywho's it's, we weren't bidding violently. Those were love punches. Okay, all right, now, I have a very special treat for you. I really enjoyed, see, I'm shifting gears. I really enjoyed watching this video, and I think you will too. Let's look and learn just a bit more about what Crisis Connections is doing these days. Roll that video.
I started with Crisis Connections in 1993. In August, so it's been 27 years now.
I want to say this is going to be my 4th year.
I've been with them for 3.5 years.
I think over a year now, just over a year.
I was a volunteer for a little over 33 years.
I just think it's a really important cause, you know. I think a little bit in a while ago, one of my friends suffered some pretty big mental health issues, and I didn't really know how to help him, being a more mathy, nerdy type dude. I really wanted to go out and try and fix that and feel like I can help people.
I heard about Crisis Connections through my brother, who was a Teen Link volunteer.
I think it has really helped me more than anything to grow in compassion and empathy and understanding of different kinds of lives that people have to live.
So the thing that I love about my job is that I'm able to express myself with others, or let others express themselves to me, and I'm able to navigate for them the resources that are available.
We get wrapped up in our own lives, and we're always too busy, or something's always going on, but learning that people need help outside of just you, and teaching people that early on, I think will make them completely well-rounded individuals.
I just think it's a really special community where all the people who volunteer are volunteering there because they want to be there, because they really want to empower youth, and because they really want to destigmatize mental health, and I just really loved that environment.
I think there's this stigma where it's or at least at my school, and what I've observed is there's a stigma about talking about your issues and mental health. I really think it's important for people to know how to get help, and to really just be able to feel comfortable reaching out to someone that understands what they're going through.
It's an organization where you can call and say, I just need help. It doesn't matter what that help is.
We help all population. There's not one that is singled out.
We have youth that calls in, teenagers that call in that are runaways, running away from home. We refer them to resources, youth agencies that they can give them a resource that provides them with shelter.
It's 5 different programs under one umbrella. So the kind of assistance you can receive is really quite variable.
Our mission is about taking care of the whole client: prevention, postvention, and intervention. And in prevention services, we want to get to that client before there's a crisis. We want to make sure that we help them before they're evicted or before the utilities are off. We want to prevent those things from happening. Intervention happens when they're in the middle of the crisis, and it has already happened. And again, we want to help them get through that crisis, navigate that period, make sure that they're safe, and can then move on to postvention. And postvention is you're beyond the crisis. We want to make sure that you have the tools that you need and you have been empowered to take control of your life and continue to prosper.
Someone calls in and is afraid to give information for one reason or another. Say, for example, a Latino calls in and is requesting for help and they don't want to call because of immigration. One of the things that I like to tell these people is that don't be afraid to reach out to us. These resources are here for you, for you to get the help.
I think it's like really like an opportunity to call and like talk over your issues with someone anonymously, so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed or like any of like the pressure or stigma. But you can just talk to someone that's in like a similar situation or someone of your age and just kind of like bond and feel better about yourself.
So Crisis Connections, we have several different phone lines. Of course, we have our crisis line, which is that line for people with mental health issues that are imminent, that have immediate concerns. Maybe they're thinking of harming themselves. We have the recovery line, which is a statewide line for people suffering from substance abuse or may need assistance with substance abuse in our community and in our state. We have the Veterans Line, which is a line for veterans. We have Teen Link, which is, again, one of the greatest lines we have where teens are helping teens that are struggling with things that they may be encountering as they grow up. We have 211, which is our resource and referral system. We provide the social services aspect for members of the community.
I love the new name, Crisis Connections, because it really says what we do. You know, I feel like our organization is a hub with spokes that reach out to different parts of the community and connect people with what they need. We certainly don't have enough services for everyone to the depth of their needs, but we do our best, and I think we fulfill a very essential part in this community.
We are so lucky. We are so lucky to have Crisis Connections in our community. You heard it. Prevention, intervention, postvention. That means the programs of Crisis Connections are ready to receive and support people wherever they are in their crisis experience. And boy, I know that there have been loved ones in my life that could have used something like this. You know, I lost one of my best friends to suicide, and she could have used this kind of support. My mom died from complications from mental health and substance abuse issues, and she could have used this kind of support. So I am so happy to be here to support Crisis Connections, and you guessed it, now is the time. Now is the time we are asking you to make your most meaningful gift in support of Crisis Connections, because now we are really clear on the value, right? We're really clear on the value. We have raised just over $5,700. I want to thank Anna Cronin, who sent in a really significant gift. Thank you to all of you who sent in your gifts, but I wanted to say thank you because we saw that come in. Didn't want you to think it didn't get noticed. It absolutely did. Like I said, we are at $5,700-ish out of $10,000. Remember, when you give in support of Crisis Connections, you ensure that Crisis Connections' vision of supporting people in crisis and prevention whenever possible through connection is achieved. You allow Crisis Connections to continue to provide essential mental and behavioral health supports for our community, especially during the COVID-19 crisis that seems to be the the thing that exacerbates all difficult things in our life, right? And this puts a magnifying glass on some of our interpersonal and our personal crisis issues. You help Crisis Connections meet the social service needs of vulnerable workers and families in our community and better take care of the staff and volunteers on the front line. So, you know, we saw the video and you've heard my personal feelings on the matter, but I want to bring somebody else up here to share the stage with you who can tell you more about the great work that Crisis Connections is doing. I want you to go to the chat and do some applause and give your warmest, most welcoming words as we bring to the stage the Senior Director of Development and Community Relations for Crisis Connections. Hey, Lauren, will you join me here on the stage, please?
Why, thank you so much, Sasha. And hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'll get right to the point. Amidst the coronavirus, calls to King County 211 have risen 73%, and calls to the crisis line by 25%. People are struggling, having lost their jobs, unexpectedly having their children out of school and remote learning, and being confined to their homes. They are in desperate need of both resources and connections with a compassionate person who can provide a caring response and help them problem solve. This has been hard in our community, and Crisis Connections has been stepping up to meet the community needs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our staff and volunteers have been instrumental and essential during this time and continue to do the work, making sure that we are always there to pick up the phone, answer an email or chat, or text, or answer a text. As Elisa said earlier in the night, Crisis Connections cannot do this work alone, and we need your help. Tonight, we're asking for much needed funding that is vital to our work. This funding will help continue the work that we're doing and be able to expand so that we can meet the needs of the community for the future. As you consider what you'll give, you'll notice the software has many, many options for you, and I'd like to highlight 3 levels for you. Your gift of $1,000 helps expand our programs and be able to add more individuals to answer the phones. Your gift of $250 pays for 10 phone calls to the crisis line and makes sure that folks in our community have access to emotional support and connection. And your gift of $50 funds a CC Cares package that supports a family after a suicide death. Gifts of any size will help so much. We really appreciate everyone for joining us here tonight. I'm going to bring Sasha back up here, and we're going to have a little fun.
Yes, we are. Time to have some fun. And the fun we're talking about is watching our fundraising thermometer grow. Let's bring that thermometer up on the screen. Whoa, whoa, I am watching gifts come in literally by the second right now. We are, you can see it right there on the fundraising thermometer, almost 70% of the way to our goal. Oh, who do we need to thank right now, Laura? Who are some of the friends we should thank?
Rob. Rob, thank you so much for your donation. Zandy, oh, we love you. Thank you, Zandy. Michelle, oh, Michelle, thank you so much. Really appreciate it tonight. Who else? Chessie, thank you. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, I see you. Geraldine, I see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Geraldine.
Thank you,
Greg,
thank you.
wonderful.
This is beautiful.
Oh, it's
I
so
just
great.
love watching the thermometer grow. I love watching these gifts come in. You know, we're able to see you in the chat. We're able to see you when you send in your gifts. That fundraising thermometer is growing steadily. We just got to about 70% of our fundraising goal. But keep the good gifts coming in. You're doing great work, but we have more work to go. We have 30% more to go in our goal. We're just over $7,000. And here's the thing. I should remind you that some of you work for companies that have a company match. So you should be thinking right now about filling in that paperwork so that you can double or maybe even triple, or depending on the company, quadruple your impact for Crisis Connections. Bottom line is, send your gift in now. Do we have any other people we should thank right now?
Sylvia, thank you so much. Wonderful. Charles, oh, I love you, Charles. Thank you so much.
This
really
is
appreciate
beautiful.
it.
Oh, gorgeous.
Thank
okay,
you.
keep those gifts coming. Just because I am shifting gears a little bit doesn't mean that you are out of time to donate. You are most certainly not. Keep those gifts coming. We are going to take another look at our fundraising thermometer here pretty soon. And can I get some applause for Lauren in the chat, please?
Thank you.
Pop your applause for her. She is an amazing hard worker working for an amazing organization. Lauren,
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you for spending time with me on the stage tonight. She gets to go kick her shoes off and go relax now. Go have your.
I will.
Go enjoy your cocktail.
I will.
She
Thank
got the
you.
party box. There's a cocktail in there. She's gonna go enjoy it now. But anyways, another round of applause for Lauren. And holy wow, whoa. Okay, we just exceeded $8,000. That means we are over 80% of the way to our goal. You are doing amazing work. I hope you are feeling the power of your giving right now. I know I most certainly am. Feel this joy. Feel this feeling of connecting. Feel this feeling of community. When you send your gift in now, know that you are staffing these crisis lines. Know that you are helping with prevention, intervention, and postvention. Know that you are elevating and amplifying the message of Crisis Connections. You are doing great work. You're doing great work. And because you got me just super amped up right now, I mean, I'm just so amped up by your generosity, I think it's time to play another trivia game. And this time, when you play the game, there is a prize. I'm going to grab it. Here we go. Here I am, grabbing the prize. Here I am, hiding the prize. Okay, so you know how this works. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to put your answer in the chat, and the fifth person who gets it correct wins a prize. And I'm not even going to show you what the prize is yet, but just know that it is really, really good. So here's the question. Happened earlier in the program. Who was this year's Community Connector Award recipient? Who was this year's Community Connector Award recipient? You are going to put your answer in the chat, and the fifth person who gets it right gets, are you ready for it? Dun, 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 dun. What? It's a Crisis Connections t-shirt. You know you want to rock this. I'm just going to be like, what? I know I'm staying home and staying safe, but I look so great in this t-shirt right now. I am making this t-shirt look so fabulous. I love Crisis Connections, and I love rocking this so hard. So get your answer in the chat. I want to give you this shirt. I mean, maybe it's not exactly this one. Maybe this one might accidentally go home with a certain local auctioneer. I don't know. But you'll get a shirt that looks exactly like this. Okay, Chessie came in and she said within reach. You're number one. Brianni said within reach. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Miriam said within reach. Erica said within reach. And ZH Application, you said within reach, and you were the fifth person. ZH Application, is that a business name? What does it mean? You got me. But whoever is the human behind the name ZH Application, you just won this great little thing. Yes, you did. And you can't see it. Yes, you can. Now you can. There we go. It's this shirt. You won it. Congratulations, ZH Application. Okay. Lauren's over here cracking up like Sasha keeps saying ZH Application, and she doesn't know who it is, but she thinks it's funny that I repeat it over and over again. Well, now I get to introduce somebody who I adore. And given that it's been COVID times, I haven't seen this person IRL in a while, and that's sad for my world because I used to go see this person's comedy almost every single Wednesday night at the Clockout Lounge in my neighborhood. I'm just happy about this. My friend is a Seattle-based comedian and storyteller and was voted by the readers of Seattle Weekly as Seattle's best comic in 2015, in 2017, and 2018, and he would have won in 2019 too, except it wasn't a category, so how's about them apples? He was one of the top 100 on season 9 of NBC's Last Comic Standing. This person believes that the best comedy is based in community, so very fitting for Crisis Connections, I think, kindness, also fitting for Crisis Connections, and weirdness. Unique to him. That's his brand. And that is important that in this strange and scary times, we continue to share jokes and stories and community with each other. This is the basis for his shows, Joke Tellers Union, which I'm an avid fan of, and Magic Hat, that now exist online until we can walk through doors IRL and sit in real seats again. He lives in Seattle with his beautiful wife and his 15-year-old daughter, who happens to be an elderly Chihuahua. I'll jump out of the way now, but I'm very excited to welcome to the stage my dear friend. I want you to hoot and holler and make so much noise in the chat. I want you to stomp. I want you to scream. I want you to blow the roof off your house, because you're going to make so much virtual noise for our headlining comedian. Please welcome to your screen, Emmett Montgomery.
Hello. Excuse me. I have to comb out my beard because I've been wearing a mask. This is one of the new things that is happening. Thank you for your patience. Yes, it is a delight to be here. Thank you. It is a delight to actually be doing stand-up while standing up, which is the first time I've had a chance to do this since March. And thank you again. This has been so cool watching this happen. We've all had to figure out new ways to stay in touch and interact with each other. And I think there's a lot of scary things happening, but I think we can all find comfort in knowing that nobody is good at anything right now. So you are all just being amazing. So thank you. And how are you? I know that's a complicated thing to ask people right now. It's always been a weird thing to ask people. Back when we used to see each other in public, we would go up to each other and say, "How are you?" And the person you asked it to would say, "Good. How are you?" And then you'd say, "Good." And then you'd both walk away liars, because chances are you both weren't good, because the human condition is much more complex than that. That is something we used to say to each other at work. And I've always thought that if you ask somebody how they are, you should actually want to know how they are. And I've always believed if somebody asks you how you are, you should tell them. And that's why my coffee shops have always hated me. But now we're in a time where you know if you are asking somebody how they are, it is going to be a story if they are honest. It's like, "Hello, please tell me the unique thing that is terrible for you." And I think that is and something I've noticed how we talk to each other now is I've seen "how are you" change to "do you need anything?" And I think that is actually very exciting, that we are now asking each other how we are and wanting to know. And I hope when all this is over that is something that we carry with us as we are finding new ways to connect. I know I am finding new ways to find community and connect with people because I have been feeding the crows every day at about the same time, because I heard that crows can recognize faces and develop relationships, and they believe in revenge. And I am into all of those things. And I know many of you out there have a pandemic plan. Some of you are learning a second language. Many of you have learned how to cook. I am trying to raise a crow army. That is what I want to do. And it has been this wonderful, consistent thing. I think normalcy has been taken away, so we create our own rituals. And for me, it is Crow Church. For me, it is going out there with a bag of unsalted roasted peanuts, because they're a nutritious, fun snack that they get to open like a puzzle. And I throw it out there and they grab it. And it's changed, where it used to be just a weird man and a bunch of crows. But now we're friends. They have a caw for me. And I recognize them by their behavior. And it has become this great moment. In fact, I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment across from the park where me and the crows hang out. And they will sometimes come and say hi. And in fact, if I'm a little late for Crow Church, they will start assembling on a tree outside my window. And eventually they'll say my crow name to me and let me know that I need to get out there. And sometimes, even when it is not time for Crow Church, I will see one of those just beautiful, sinister crow eyes staring at me, because I know we have made that connection. And that's why I always wear pants when I'm in my apartment, because me and the crows are not quite on that level of intimacy where I can Donald Duck in front of them. But we have to find these small things that give us joy. And I fortunately have one of the biggest small things that has kept me through it. I am fortunate enough to have a beautiful 15-year-old Chihuahua in my life. Her name is Donna, and she is beautiful. She is gorgeous. She's 15 years old, but she's still stunning. She's like the Helen Mirren of dogs. And she has the most beautiful eyelashes. In fact, the first pair of eyelashes I have ever noticed, and my wife has eyes, and she is so precious. And people will hear that I have a Chihuahua, and they will, wow, I think we've broken $10,000. I just see right now. The thermometer graphic may be limited, but the need is infinite. So please do not stop. But thank you. When people hear I have a Chihuahua, they will say, Chihuahuas, don't they shake all the time? And I'll say, maybe. Maybe Chihuahuas shake all the time. Or maybe Chihuahuas are the only things that are standing still. She is this center, and she is, I love her so much. She is my princess, and I am her janitor, and it is the best job that I have ever had. And it is, sometimes I'll just look at her weird potato body, and I'll just think, wow, 1,000 grandmothers ago, you used to be a wolf, right? And she's just this delightful mystery. And we got her when she was 8 years old. I highly recommend get an elderly Chihuahua. It's like having a baby grandma. It is such a great experience. And we've had her for 7 years, sweet Donna. And but we don't know about the first 8 years of her life. All we know about her is that she hates the Law and Order theme song. And so we suspected a criminal past, but that's okay. We all have our own stories, and I'll never stop loving her. And she's not what I expected in life. I expected the type of dog I would have would be, you know, one of those giant dogs that's the size of half a horse, like a golden retriever or a big collie, but instead I got a Chihuahua. And there's many dogs who are trained with special skills, but Donna, her job is to be a lap companion. Her job is to keep you warm at night. So essentially, my dog is a hot water bottle made out of meat. And her special dog skill is to be warmer than room temperature. And she is so good at it. She is so wonderful. And it's finding these things, these big, small things to bring you joy and noticing the changes. One of the things that has happened in the last 8 months is I have actually been using my phone as a phone. I have been having phone calls with people. I have been realizing the importance of faces and voices, and that there are faces and voices that care about me, and there are faces and voices I care about. And it's much bigger than I thought. Even interactions with strangers. If I am on a text service line, the person there wants to talk. And as we connect, and one of the things that has happened is I have actually been talking to my brothers recently. I am one of 7 boys, so we were a mid-sized family for Utah. And I don't think that my mom actually planned on bringing 7 sons into the world. I mean, there's some evidence in this. When we'd act up, she'd say, hey, stop that. Not Hannah. But she did. And that's what we have. And in fact, the first time in the 21st century that we all were able to be in the same room together was actually at her funeral, and we started this connection. And then when this happened and we couldn't be in the same room together, we now talk. And we say things to each other, I think, because what is happening, and it is not a time to hide yourself. We actually have been saying, I love you to each other. That is how we end our conversations. I love you. And statistically, there's so many of us, if you think that there is a chance that there is a middle-aged ex-Mormon man saying, I love you, to another middle-aged ex-Mormon man right now, out there, that fabric of caring. And I think about all the new I love yous that have happened since this has started. And you may say to yourself, Emmett, I do not have a middle-aged ex-Mormon to tell me I love you. And I want to say, yes, you do. Because I love you. And thank you for being part of this.
Emmett Montgomery, everybody. Emmett Montgomery. I'm going to play MC and stagehand for a moment. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Please pop your applause in the chat for Emmett Montgomery, everybody. Whew. Okay, I'm recovering. I'm recovering from fits of laughter right now. I mean, and also fits of just heartbursts. I mean, that is Emmett for you. Laughter and open heart. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, time for our final trivia game of the evening, and this is the big prize that I mentioned earlier. The person, I'm not gonna tell you, I'm gonna tease it. I mentioned a big prize, but what was it? I don't know, I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna ask you a question, you're gonna answer in the chat. The 5th person who gets it right wins the prize that I have yet to reveal. What is it? Who knows? I'll tell you soon. All right, if you were paying attention, you will know the answer. What is the name of Emmett's dog? First name only is fine, but she does in fact have 3 names, a beginning, middle, and last name. But first name only is fine. The 5th person to get it correct is going to win your choice of any Crisis Connections training that you want to take. Your choice! Isn't that amazing? Get even closer with our friends at Crisis Connections. Feel even more connection with Crisis Connections. That will be you when you win, because you will be the 5th person to type the name of Emmett Montgomery's dog into the chat. Okay, we've got them coming in. Michelle, you were number 1. Michelle Cody, you were number 2. Chris, you were number 3. Michelle K, you were number 4. And Megan Flemings was number 5. Megan Flemings knows that...
She's 4th because the first one didn't get it right.
Oh, Doris. Okay, sorry. Sam. Nope. Gina. Is it Gina? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Gina. Gina Morgan. Gina Morgan, you won. Okay, so the dog's full name, am I correct? Donna Noble Montgomery? Yes. Okay. It's a Doctor Who reference because she's the best companion. Okay, congratulations to the winners of all the prizes. Congratulations to those of you who won auction items. Let's take one last look at our fundraising thermometer. What? Yes! We met the goal. We actually exceeded the goal. We have so far raised $10,115. But I got to tell you, you don't have to stop giving now. You can keep the philanthropy a-coming. Like Emmett said, maybe the thermometer only goes so far, but the need, it's very, very great. So congratulations to you. You have done beautiful work. Thank you so much for showing up on behalf of Crisis Connections. Thank you for bidding in the auction. Thank you for playing the trivia games. Thank you for laughing at our jokes, some of whose jokes were better than others. Just kidding. Distance hug. So in my world, when somebody makes fun of you, that means they love you.
That's right.
So
I
now
do.
I think we're basically like socially distanced BFFs, right?
Yeah.
Right here. See what Crisis Connection does? It creates connection. Can I get an elbow? Boop.
That's
right here.
Yeah.
Witness best friends just made right here. Okay. Anyway, it's not the end of our program. My fabulous co-MC has some things to say to you.
I do.
But before I go, I just want to say thank you one more time. It has been an honor to serve as your auctioneer. I am Sasha Summer Cousineau, and I'm going to leave it with Elisa.
Yes. I want to thank all of you. We want to leave you with... To answer the crisis line, warm line, or teen link, if you're a teen. You can tell your friends and your family members about the programs and services so that they know who to contact when they're in crisis. Check out the training offerings. Take a mental first aid class or compassion fatigue class. And until we see you again, we just want to thank you, stay well, and wish you all a wonderful evening. Be healthy, everybody. Bye-bye.